On TikTok or on social media in general, you see so many African kids joking about how they grew up. You hear things like, my mom didn't even need to say much, just one look, and I knew. Things like, I got beaten for things I didn't even know I did wrong. It's funny, right? But it shows how a lot of us were raised. We were raised with fear, not connection, right? And today I want to, discuss why that old way may not work with this generation, and how a better principle called preheat principle is a better approach in communicating with children, with teenagers in our world today. Now think about an oven, right? You don't put in your food while the oven is cold, right? You preheat the oven first so it's ready for your food. The same goes for our teenagers and even children in general. Before we give instructions or requests, we need to preheat the conversation. And that means we must create a connection first. We must check in with their emotions. We must use a respectful tone and also make sure the timing is right. Now, many of us African parents, we grew up with a very different approach. If you didn't listen the first time, the first thing you will hear from your parents, did you hear me? And this will be followed by a threat. If I have to say it again, you will see. Or even a quick smack to reset your brains, right? The idea was that fear brings respect. And to some extent, it's worked in our generation. Children obeyed quickly when they hear, if I say that again, followed by a threat. So these teenagers are growing up in a world of information, freedom, and choices. And what worked before, like the yelling, the flogging, the forcing, may not only fail now, it can backfire. Things shut down emotionally. They pretend to obey, but inside of them, the relationship weakens and communication breaks down. These are the effects of yelling, flogging, forcing, among others. Now, that is why the preheat approach, the preheat principle, is so important for us, even as African parents. It shifts focus from fear to respect. The preheat principles shift focus from control to connection. Now, a psychologist once said, why attitudes are hostile, facts are unconvincing. That means if your child is upset, if your child is distracted or defensive, it doesn't matter how logical your request is, they will not take it in. And psychology today reminds us that forcing behavior is generally ineffective and can harm your relationship with your child. That is why preparing the moment, that is why the preheat principle is so powerful. So, how do we do this? And here are a few ways to preheat before making a request. Number one, pause and connect first. Instead of shouting, do your homework now. Why don't you try something like, hey, I know you've had a long day. Do you want a snack first before you get started on your homework? Now, make eye contact and remove distractions. Get their attention, make sure they are not on the TV. You as well, you're not focused on your phone. Number three, give them a choice. Like instead of demanding, like, hey, take out the trash, like right now, I think it's better to try something like, would you rather take out the trash before dinner or after dinner? Would you rather take out the trash tonight or tomorrow morning? This gives them ownership, like, this is mine, this is my job, this is my duty, this is my responsibility, this is mine, and I have to make sure I get it done. Number four, check their emotional temperature. Sometimes the problem is not even defiance, right? It's that they're stressed, they're tired, or they're overwhelmed. So ask, oh, you seem upset. Would you like to talk about it before I ask something of you? You check how they're feeling, know how they're feeling before you approach. These little changes, it shifts the energy of the moment, and your child is more likely to listen. And I want us to remember that preheating is not about losing control or losing authority. It's about building trust, building cooperation. Because when your child feels respected, your child feels heard, they are far more likely to respect you in return. And as one parenting expert put it, listening is a key strategy to improve communication with children. So that means we model listening first, so your child can learn to listen as well. So next time you're tempted to yell or say, hey, back in my days, one look from my parents was enough. Why not pause and ask yourself, have I preheated the conversation? Because in general, right, yelling may silence your child in the moment, but connection will get them to truly listen to you. Now, what is one way you can preheat with your child or your teenager this week? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to read your ideas. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.